Hi, my YouTube family. Welcome on set today. Today we are having a new edition entitled My Truth. This has come as a result of the questions, personal questions that I keep getting after the divorce. What next? So welcome on set. We are going to have a discussion, and this discussion is pegged on me. I keep receiving phone calls of people, especially ladies, and the first thing they call me and ask me is, how are you? How are you faring on? How is it? How is Kenya? Because most of the ladies who actually call me, they left the country as a result of the same, similar, although not similar like mine. Everyone has a different case. They left the country because of insecurity after filing for divorce, or they escaped and then filed for divorce and stuff like that. So in most cases, they will call me and ask me, how are you faring on? How is life in the country after the divorce? How is your security? How's everything? And I felt that today we need to have a candid discussion, and it is pegged on the same gender-based violence. And what measures are we taking? What steps are we taking? Where are we as a country genuinely? Because remember, from the onset, I said, let us not dwell on information of marketers. NGO marketing themselves. There's polycare that has been opened by the government. My colleague and I, she's actually sneering. We made a tour. We went. We have gone. We have done our rounds to really understand how polycare is effective. And for me, it's I'm not focused on where it is effective. Is it really effective on gender-based violence, and especially women like us who are looking for exits, who have made a decision, enough is enough. I will die in this union of marriage. Where am I running to? First and foremost, for security. So is polycare, do we have a department for gender-based violated women? And I will answer you today, no, because the gender-based violence they deal much on, and they are very effective on, is rescuing children. And you'll also realize that the same polycare, most offices are closed because maybe they are underfunded, or and there are few people in operation operating that particular docket. Yeah. So when we start off this discussion, let me start off by saying what is there. So that is what is there with polycare. But I will say that police officers have made a milestone, because you realize it's not like before when you'd go and report and they would tell you it is between you and your husband, you go back home. Nowadays, they are taking measures, they're summoning, they're even coming to the premises. They are a bit proactive, I will say so. When it comes to a place of refuge, I will categorically tell you there is none whatsoever. And I stand to be corrected, because 100% I will tell you, even today when you Google, where a woman who is fearing for her life, where should she run to? Because maybe she doesn't have relatives, she doesn't have friends she can run to. There is no one who can come to her aid. Where can she go? Where will she go? Go to your phone. Google where this woman can run. Give me a number where you will tell me that this woman, she will run, she will get accommodation, she will get security for her and her children. She will get to at least rest 1 or 2 days as she figures out, let me wake up on the 3rd day. I have people who can help me to get a job now, to get myself back on my feet. Show me where this woman will run to. And in most cases, we have had this discussion. When these women are escaping this kind of union of marriages, they are bankrupt. They don't have money. Some of them were even stopped from working. Some of us, like me, even what you worked for was taken away. And people are still walking free and enjoying life as if there are no laws in this country. As if a woman's money, women's hard work is not painful. It is not, it doesn't hurt, you know? So when we are walking out of this union of marriage, where do we run to? This is 2024. Where do we run to? So let us not hype up in the media, follow media. Oh, there is this organization. Oh, there are these homes that can take care of these women. Give me names, we walk there, we go there. Because we have done these researches. We have walked incognito even in some places, you know, to check out. We have even made phone calls and told them, tell us genuinely, we are not recording you, but can you be able? And most of them, they'll tell us there are no funds. We don't have funds. Yes, we have houses, we have homes where we can keep you, but we don't have money to give you food. You know, we cannot guarantee your security because we do not have that money to pay off security officers to guard the gates or to take care of you during the time you are with us. So by the end of the day, things, I will say, they are still the same. There's a very minimal improvement in line with security with the police officers, but I will not say it is even 30%. It is not. Yeah. And by the end of the day, I will still take us back to where we began. When I escape this gruesome, this life-threatening ordeal place, this union of marriage, where do I go to? I will tell you there is nowhere I will go to. And by the end of the day, when you do these phone calls, you will be told, don't you have relatives who can help you? Don't you have friends who can help you? Did you not save a little bit of money that you can rent out a place and let him not know where you are and just go hide somewhere? Don't you have friends abroad who can invite you to leave the country? This is the same thing. So it takes the strongest to survive after the union, after the divorce. It takes the strongest. And I'm not talking about the usual basic divorces after you have a misunderstanding and both of you cannot live together and you have agreed to part ways. You know what kind of union of marriages we are talking about. The life-threatening ones. The ones you cannot leave. The ones, if you must leave, you have to live in a coffin. The ones which you succeed to leave, it will take the who's or who in this country to help you escape your union of marriage. So I hope that has answered a bit of your question. I've just been blunt, but I know you understand. Now, how are you, Catherine? How is it? I will tell you, security-wise, I'm okay. I have said it before. Now I can wake up and try to hustle, try to do something. Initially, before the DCI came through for me, I could not leave my gate. Remember, I told you a story where right outside the main entrance gate, there was a stationed person there. There was a person with a phone. There was a boda who would follow me. There was a vehicle which would abruptly appear. I would go and get into public means and I would be followed, you know. All those things have subsided. They are no longer there. The much I feel is secure. I'm secure because I've not noticed any following up so far anymore. Actually, for the last, may I say, 3 months, I've not seen anything whatsoever that will warrant me to panic or to go back to where I was on panic mode. On, you know, my heart is always racing. I'm always looking over my shoulder. I will not say that is happening anymore. Now, I would want to say something before I actually tell you where am I at. Remember, when I went to the media, I want to repeat again, one of the reasons why I went to the media was to save my life because of death attempts. Of course, I needed to save my life. I needed to be, to speak out the reason why my life is threatened for me to get the help that I needed, right? So fast forward, there's something I would want to tell you, because yes, you're asking me, where are we at? Catherine, where are you at? After the divorce now, where are you at? Number one, when we say security-wise, things are okay, that does not mean that 1, 2, 3 times I've not made phone calls to the DCI. One time I've not, or twice I haven't gone to record to record and get an OB statement. Those small nitty-gritty things are they still come up once in a while. Yeah. And I'm grateful to the DCI because they're proactive in acting in whatever they get to do for them to stop the menace, if I may, for lack of a better word. Now, there's a story, one of the many stories that I never got to tell. Because in the social media, people might think, oh, the story you gave was everything you went through for the last 18 years. No, that is 40%. You cannot begin to tell a story, your entire life story for 18 years within 2 hours or 3 hours or a whole day. It's not possible. So I want to mention something, and I want to state something because I need to answer your question of where am I at now currently. Once upon a time, when I was still in the when I was still in the union of marriage, one of the many cases that happened to me, I woke up to realize that I needed to renew my passport. And I actually took now the steps, e-citizen, to go and renew my passport. Of course, I followed the normal, simple procedures that are outlined for you to renew and get your passport back then. And remember, it is the time that the East African passport, the blue passports, had been established. So I was getting rid of the old version and getting the new one. So I went to Nyayo House and followed the due process to get to the counter. Is when that lovely lady told me to go and report at the security desk. I went to report at the security desk, and they looked at me in a suspicious manner, and immediately I panicked. Remember, I was already undergoing very many life-threatening situations. I risked to be imprisoned for nothing. Remember that I had told as a bit of my story. I lived to be terrorized, harassed by the security officers. Remember that as well. So my life was at the edge. So when I went to report at the security desk or at the immigration, I was already on panic mode. I think I almost started crying because at the back of my head, I said, oh my God, what has he done again? You know? So when I reached there, that is when the security officers, and they are dressed like the army officers. The way they were dressed, of course, and remember where I'm coming from, I was already in panic mode. So they told me, Madam, how many passports do you have? And I told them, I think that was my third passport. So I told him, this is my third passport. They told me, are you sure this is your third passport? Yes. So I started narrating from the first time when I was a young girl in my mother's house. I had taken a passport because I needed to travel under my 3 names, yes. Then when I got married, I was made, I changed. When my passport was being renewed, my ex-husband told me to add his name. That was the second passport. And then now I'm on the third passport. So they told me, no, we are going to blacklist you and you're never going to ever travel to leave this country again. And now I panicked and definitely I started wailing, and I was asking them why. They told me, at your age, how can you be having almost 9 passports. And I was like, repeat again. I don't know whether it was 7 passports or 9. I think it was 9 passports. And I was like, me 9 passports? Yes. Is your name this and this and this? And I said, yes, this was what was changed too. And who facilitated the change? I told them, my ex-husband. And so you never participated? No, this is the passport I got under this name. And so that's why I'm telling you this is my 3rd passport, because this is what I got. And they told me by the time you are getting this passport, all these other passports had been made. Do you know what that means, kisheria? Legally, do you know what that means? And I said, I do not know. It means you're a criminal. There is no way you can obtain all these passports if you're not trying to do something at your age. Having all these passports warrants a lot of investigations. So I started crying, and I told them, and I narrated to them. I told them, this is not the first time it has happened. So who do you think did this? I said, it's my then husband. And they told me what would be the motive. I told them I've been in court before for nothing. So the motive would be just destroying my name, tarnishing my name. The same thing you're telling me, that I will never get to travel again. Maybe even you arresting me and taking me to court for nothing. Maybe that is what he was after. So they looked at me. Of course, I'm grateful to security officers, maybe because of the trainings they undergo. They can tell an honest person, you know, because they just looked at me and they told me, Catherine, we are going to help you. And truly, they did help me. I had to go and do whatever they told me, even sign affidavit and do all sorts of things. And they told me, we will wait for you. By midday, make sure you have come back, because I had gone there very early. And bring me all these documents, and we are going to assist you. Let me reiterate and say something. These are security officers. They never asked me for nothing. I didn't know them. I did not know them. It is, I will say, they are God angels. Because being security officers, many things would have happened. And remember, this is a time when I do not have money. All my money has been taken. So I'm living hand to mouth. So I went and I did all what needed to be done. I brought back the documents. They told me they certified, and then I was told to go back to the counter where I was to go and present that I've already paid through the eCitizen. I went and gave and submitted. Fine. I assumed the whole drama is over. So the application was okay. So I think after 2 weeks, I got 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I got a message on my phone, the usual, the normal procedure. Your passport is ready, come and collect it. So I went. When I went, I was put on hold. And I was told, just hold on. Can you show us the message again? I showed them the message. I was told to come and collect my passport today. Unfortunately, your passport is not ready. And I was like, okay, my passport is not ready. Why? I have the message that my passport is ready for collection. You just wait here a minute. Then I smelled a rat. Then actually, they came back and told me, you go, we will call you. And I said, no, this is the day I've been told to come and get my passport. I think I will need help again. So I called my friend. And because of this friend, through the husband, I was sent to a security office in the same building. And he told me to forward that text message. I did, and I narrated what had transpired before even this passport was made. So when I was sent to the security offices, courtesy of my friend, the husband now, when I went, they are the ones who came back and told me, Catherine, your passport was ready, then it was shredded. It was actually destroyed. So you know what? Through this office, you're not going back home. You sit, they are going to prepare another passport, and you're going home with your passport. I sat in that office as I followed it. It was being followed by now my friend's husband. I sat for 2 hours. The passport was prepared. It was made ready, and it was brought into that office. And that is how I got my passport. Now you will ask me, Catherine, how would this happen? And again, let me say, Many things can happen in this republic. Many things do happen. And very few people are bold enough to speak about it. This was not supposed to happen. Remember, how would you make so many of those passports? And they actually enter in the data. And actually, it is never followed up or nothing happens. Well, God came to my rescue. I got help. My passport was ready. I do not know how they got to know that now I have a new passport, for them to even give instruction for that passport to be destroyed. Meaning that the passport was ready, but if it wasn't the intervention of my friend, I would not have gotten my passport legally. Remember, application, it has all been done through the eCitizen. Remember, they have even also realized that I'm a victim. Remember, they have helped me. The security and the office of the government has realized and they have helped. But still along the way, when the passport was ready, people could have been used to go and even destroy that passport again. That a new one had to be made through the intervention of my friend and the office of the security, which I will not mention the name, in the same building, for me to be able to secure a passport again. Why am I giving you these stories? It's because I do not want people to come and tell me their laws. We have lived to see the laws fail. We have lived to see you having documents, presenting them in court. And when you go to court, the file is empty. You remember I gave the case of my divorce proceeding. How many times I did photocopies. Back then, I did not have money. Yet I would be forced to spend close to 2,000, 3,000 doing tons of evidence of documents. But even on my judgment day, one of the evidence which is supposed to be as a, factored in the divorce proceeding, like infidelity, it was missing. The judge clearly said that, yes, it was mentioned, but there was no evidence. Yet I had done tons and tons of photocopies. And those evidences, they were always being replaced, put in the files in courts. Yeah? So where am I going? Where am I going to? For those who keep on telling abused women that kuna sheria, their laws, they can be followed. You need evidence to win a case. You might have evidence and lose a case in the Kenyan courts. You see? You might have evidence and they disappear and the file is left empty. Right? And I'm telling you things I have lived to see. Right? And it is indeed my prayer that God will continue helping, because I can tell you, for now I have lived to see that things are really changing even in our courts, in the legal system. Lawyers can be corrupted. Lawyers can be threatened. Lawyers can withdraw your case either through corruption, or they can be threatened and they say they don't want to continue with your case. I have lived to see these things. So when people come on the platform, because maybe of negligence, lack of knowledge, you've not worn that shoe. Kindly do not use, even in the media, do not invite people to come and market themselves. Call people who have walked the journey to tell you the truth on the ground of what exactly is happening. Because until you begin to tell these truths, that is how the people who are after me, people who will suffer after me, and I'm not praying for other women to go through what I've gone through. The path, the road has already been prepared for them. Because one woman woke up and told the truth that we do not have these systems in place. And yes, these systems are in place, but they can be corrupted. These systems can be in place, but this and this and this does happen. You understand? So let us not be talking out of ignorance or negligence. How would that thing happen? Yet we have courts, yet we have lawyers, yet we have, yes, it was immigration department. You know, how could that happen? Yes, my passport was shredded so that I may not have it. If it was not intervention of a senior government office, I would not have my passport. So now, I needed to tell you that one story. I will not tell two stories. I have one too many to tell, but I have that one story. Why am I telling you one story? Because of the question, remember, of those great people who keep on checking up on me. Catherine, where are you at? Are you okay? This is where I am. Remember in that past story, you all know that I lost literally everything. And when we talk of I lost, me, I'm only talking of what I did, what I managed to acquire in the union of marriage, not what he acquired, what me I acquired, right? I lost everything and I let it go, right? Now, the only thing I managed to secure was the house that I live in. For the sake of my daughter and my mom. Remember, I lost even my mother's house, right? Fast forward. You also remember in the past story, we talked about a threat that I was called by then mother-in-law, who told me, even that house you are leaving. You remember that? Yes. And before I continue, please, when these stories are told, do not forget. It takes a lot of courage for some of us to come to the social media platform and give our stories. Some of us are giving these stories to rescue, save their lives, like I did. Do not forget the stories. They are not stories. Because of this public viewing, we walk. We are alive. Our stories were heard. We got the help that we needed. And I'm forever grateful to the media. We can accuse media for so many things, but the same media has been used by God to save lives, mine being one of them, right? Now, this house, the house that I live in, is the only property I still have. Remember, legally, I own the house. Remember, I have just given you a story to tell you that even if legally you deserve what you have because it is yours, it can be easily be taken away from you. Now, the reason why I gave you that story, and now where am I at, Catherine? Phone calls have started coming again. Of course, you will get random phone calls from strangers pretending they have watched you, but the way they are bringing their story is clearly telling you something is on the pipeline. Of course, phone calls have been made either to instill fear, to remind me that we are coming for the house, to remind me that even if you claim you have all what it takes to win that case, you know how the Kenyan judicial system is. You don't need to remind me. I know I lived it. You don't need to test the waters whether I'm fearful. What did not kill me just made me stronger. I'm no longer fearful. So where am I at? I am stronger. I am not at rest yet. I have not gotten there yet. I am still aggressively trying to get my life back on track. I do not have the resources I need to go and battle it up in the courts of law again. Right? I am still on my healing journey from where I'm coming from. And I'm grateful to the therapy I received and to the wonderful lady who gave me therapy for free for over an year. I'm forever grateful. All smiles. May God richly bless you. Because now I'm able to focus and get on my feet as fast as I can by God's grace to be able to start life again. Where am I at, Catherine? These phone calls come back, telling me even the little that you have, you're coming back for it. I would want to say this, and the reason why I felt I needed to make this video is to educate even those women who are in the process of their divorce, who are also battling in court for their own property, their own blood, hard-earned money that is already being taken away from them. The question I would want to pose out there: you worked hard, you paid for something, your name is on that something, and you're being told that it can be taken away from you because of the court system and everything. And they have already exhausted, they have already taken anything and everything that you worked for. And now you have just been given a breather of maybe an year, and then now they feel that they need to make another comeback for the house. You remember, I said, the house I worked for, the house I was robbed dry for, I am not leaving. And this house belongs to my daughter. And it will not be taken by any government office for them. I will not be terrorized by anyone. It doesn't matter their position or status in this republic. And I've come openly into this, my social media platform, to clearly say, the day you will hear I've been summoned to go back to court, I will not go to any Kenyan court without full media coverage. If we say enough is enough for domestic violence to come to an end, let us be honest at it. I am one of the women who have labored for what they have. It was openly stolen and robbed of in the name of union of marriage, with no help to even salvage the least. I only have a house to my name. And now you receive phone calls being told it might also, they are coming for it. I do not care who are coming for it. You will find me standing. And it will be on full media coverage. If this nation, if there is no office in this republic that can come to my aid, when that time comes, let the international courts, if they can take over my case, come to my rescue. Because this one, I will not go down without a fight. I left, I released everything else in the past. I looked like a fool, I was called a fool, and I said, for the sake of my life, for the sake of my sanity, for the sake of my peace, let me let go. But now this will not happen again. Why am I stating this today? For the sake of tomorrow. It's painful, but I will remind you, we have had women die. Two ways abused women die. They die because of stress-related diseases that you cannot take anyone to court for. This woman died of a heart attack. This woman died of high blood pressure, hypertension, stroke. They will just die and they will be buried. The society will know the cause of death, but these culprits will never face the law. That culprit will continue walking this earth. This culprit will even go ahead and marry again. This culprit will live life as normal. A life has been lost. The much we can do to that woman is our condolence. Life moves on. I will take you not long ago. It was all over social media. Oyesinachi. The stories came after her death. The church knew, the surrounding knew, the family tried, yeah? So much happened after she is dead. After we start giving our condolence, after screaming on the social media, she is dead. The husband was arrested. I remind you again, she is dead. The husband has been prosecuted. She is dead. The children will never recover their mother again. Was it because their country could not fight for her? Was it because something could not happen? Why did she persevere? Why did she stay? Before you get to judge her, let me speak on her behalf. She sat. She evaluated the same thing I'm evaluating my country. We are all Africans. They were Nigerians. I'm a Kenyan. I'm still alive and breathing. I've tried to fight, and I'm still fighting, and I'm not going down. She looked, who would help me? Who'd give me security? Who'd take care of my children? What would happen if I was to leave this house? Remember, her mind has already been poisoned. You are no longer secure everywhere you go, because this is what these people do. I do not want to mention the name narcissist again. This is what these monsters do. They make you believe and realize, and they actually prove and show you you are not safe anywhere you choose to go. So she sat, she evaluated, and she realized there is no way out. Eventually, what happened? She died. When did help come? After her death. What did that help? She's dead. How many Oyesinachis do we have in the continent of Africa? How many Oyesinachis are trying to ask for help, but there is no help in our countries? Are we that poor that we cannot be able to help a woman? And the best we can do, maybe even after this video goes live, you will see other NGOs coming out and saying they can help. Have we Googled you? How many women? Because those abused women, they call me. They ask me, where can I get help? The few numbers I know, I will call. And behind the scene, they will tell you, we do not have enough funds to do this. We might have this, but we don't have this. If this is a matter of security, we cannot be able to give the security this woman needs. Don't you have relatives? To this day, today, 2024, this is the year 2024, February. Do you have relatives who can help you? Do you have friends who can help you? Do you have anyone who can call you to leave the country? For how long? For how long will we keep burying our heads in the sand? That whenever an abused woman dies is when we speak. We can only scream and shout for a week or two, then we forget and move on. When are we going to have real systems that can help these women? I'm not here to talk about any other. I'm talking about the abused women who need, number one, security. Number one, security. They need protection. They need a safe house. They need basic needs because they are walking out with nothing with their children. Can we rehabilitate them to get back on their feet? Because this is what they need. Show me one place they do that. They are rehabilitating them. They are taking them on board with their children. They are protecting them. They are defending them. And even if there is one or two, they cannot afford to go on their social media and say this is the number to call, because they will be overwhelmed because there is no funding, enough funding for them. So the best thing they can tell you, do you have relatives who can help you? Do you have friends who can help you? Can you be able to find a way out of the country? And in the process, you're looking over your shoulder. In the process, you will leave that union of marriage with with an injury. Because you are seated there trying to look for a way out. You sit until you get an injury. Maybe it is a reversible injury, good for you. Maybe in most cases, it's an irreversible injury. You know what that means to a woman? I do. And until then, you're still asking, looking for way out in this day and age. Help. So let us recognize when a woman is crying for help, whichever mode or means she's asking. Do not mock her. Do not insult her. Do not abuse her. That is the only way she felt she could have asked or cried out. Her last cry. Please, can somebody come to my aid? Help these women. They are there. They are still there. Help them. If you are in a position to help, help. For those organizations that are underfunded, speak out. You are not able because you are underfunded. And speak out even when your donors are not giving you or they have stopped funding you. And organizations that have already been corrupted because they are there. They are there, they are being funded, but especially, more so, I only speak what I know. When it comes to legal assistance, they get corrupted. They forget they are serving an organization that is supposed to be wiping the tears of these abused women. May God have mercy on you. And I'm speaking to the lawyers who take up. You agree to serve an organization. You'd rather stay as a normal lawyer and do what you do best. But do not go and work for an organization that is registered to answer the cry of an abused, of a poor woman who has no funds. And you have the audacity to terrorize her at her breaking point. May God have mercy on you. Is it still happening? Yes, because I still receive phone calls. It is happening. You have the audacity to ask that woman who is getting pro bono services for money. She's getting pro bono services because she doesn't have money. She's getting those pro bono services. She can't afford a meal. She has been thrown out. She had, but it has been taken. She has been stripped off. She has nothing in this day and age. Yes. May God have mercy on you. So these are the things that are happening. Catherine, where are you at? This is where I'm at. Do you shed a tear or two once In a while, yes, I do. How do you afford to be this strong and vibrant? I see on the social media marketing. What else should I be doing? I have to fight my way out to liberty. With the aid and help of God, I must stand. And I am standing. I am standing. Why am I fighting so hard to stand? For myself first, for my family, the people who are looking up to me, my daughter, my mom, and for the many women who meet me on the streets, who call me, and they tell me, because I have seen you, I have strength to move on, or to act, or to start again, or to live again. That is why I have to keep going. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy to say, I'm not able, and I must try. It's not easy to shift, to route, to shift your direction. You are going this way, but now you have to turn. It's not easy. It's not easy to start life again. It's not easy to work so hard. You know the way you are told, you work so hard, but you eat like an ant, because what you're getting from your hard work is an ant's blessing. And you still have to move on, because we are in these times. These women are being thrown out of their marital homes. These women have been robbed of everything they worked for, legally they own. And they have been thrown out in this day and age to start life again. It's not easy. So I did not only want to say this is where I'm at, but I also wanted to speak, to be a voice to those other women so that they are not forgotten. These women have showed up in police station. Police officers, please help these women. These women have showed up in these NGOs seeking for help. Please help them. These women have even gone privately and talked to lawyers who are able even to help them. Help them. These lawyers are crying out even to neighbors. You know, I have no food to feed my children. I have 2-3 children. This is where I am. I was thrown out. I'm renting out a small house. I'm not even able to pay rent. I'm not able even to feed these children. Share what you have. As little as a meal, give them. You know them. Do not wait for them when they die, is when help is coming. Forgive me when I say it's too late for your aid. It will be too late for your aid. If you didn't come through for them when they were living and breathing, there is no need for you to lend a hand when they are buried. And I've given you 2 versions of their death. The first one, the accused party will never go to prison. It is a sickness, though it was stress-related disease because of the abuse. But nobody will ever go to prison for that. The second one, the man will wake up and butcher that person. You'll arrest that person. You'll take him to court, but that person is dead. That person is disabled for life. So whether you jail that person forever, what have you changed? Let us not be a society or a community that sits until when it's too late. That is when we wake up to act. That is where we are at. That is where I am at. That is where every other abused woman to date is at. That woman who is trying to look for help, that is where she is at. That woman who is still enduring beatings, that is where she's at. That woman who is trying to look for a way out, but she would rather stay in there, That is the reason why she's still staying. She will not go live under a tree with her children, under the scorching sun, maybe under the rains. She will sit there and she will die there because there is no help coming. So let us have a true, genuine, honest, candid discussion of what can we do for these women, for we women who are coming from very dangerous, abusive marriages. What can we do as a society for them? As a country, what can we do? Let us not say we have gender office, gender what, this and that. Let us stop theatrics. Let us stop marketing advertisements. We know there are measures that have been put in place. Are they working? Can they be felt on the ground? How many have they assisted? And let us not lie, because it is also possible to stage manage and say these are the people we have helped. Let us be honest with ourselves and let us rise up and help these women. And when they cry for help, come through for them. Stop pretending and don't lie. That is my closing parting shot. Most of these women who suffer, some people who are able to help them, they go out there saying they are helping them and they are not helping. They go out there and say, I even called her to assist her, but she refused. And you are lying on broad daylight. May God have mercy on you. Let us be honest with ourselves, because it is not a laughing matter. Let us be honest with ourselves, because this is a life we are trying to save. Most women will not be strong like me or another person. Most women will not be able to endure this kind of hardship along the way. After divorce, what next? It is not an easy flow. Yes, one hurdle is over. You're facing other challenges. Not many women will be able to endure what is ahead. So if you can help, help. Don't lie. Don't lie about it. Let us stand against gender-based violence. And let us bring to book the abusers. Let us not sit and watch them and keep lying and telling ourselves, you know it is the law. You know it is the law. You need to have evidence. I sit here today, I say I had evidence which was removed. Another woman will not go to court because she doesn't have evidence. She tried to build up evidence. This abusive partner, discovered and destroyed every evidence. Does it mean there is no help for her? The law only applies where it serves them. When you have evidence, it will fail. When you don't have evidence, it will not work for you. You know what works best? Money. These women have no money to give. These women do not have money to dish out for them to get the help that they need. It is time to begin to have a heart. Cultivate a heart. The God heart that God gave mankind a heart. Please look for that heart. Get it back and help these women. That is the much I can say. So this is where I am at. This is where I am. This is where we are. Yes, you will see me in the social media and you think life is back to normal. You're forgetting how businesses are. You're forgetting everyone can advise you this is not the best time to start a business. Some of us are starting businesses by faith in God and telling God, there is nothing else left for me to do. You have to bless the work of my hands. Some of us are living by the grace of God. So this is where we are. And let's not assume that for one woman, she's getting it on a silver platter, the other one is struggling. No. Every abused woman, the things that they go through after divorce is almost the same. Help will not come. What you need, you have to really work so hard for it. You know, things are not easy. You still have those memories of, I would not be suffering like this if I was not messed. We are all human beings. Let's stop pretending we are angels. We are not. It hurts. What we went through hurts. What we lost hurts. Being taken back again to start life again hurts. So let us be fair even in our wordings. Let us be fair even when you come back. Like now, this will go to the social media. Your comments. Let us know that we are addressing human beings who have suffered enough. And enough is enough. The best you can do is help. If you can't help, it's okay. God bless you. But let's not add injury into insult, insult into injury. Let us not continue destroying these women in one way or another. There are many things I could have talked about, but I feel I don't need to talk about them. I don't like focusing more on the negativity. I feel I need to focus more on hope. There is hope for us women. But let us not, even as we try to say there is hope, let us not bring this notion into the public eye that it is easy, that we are all good, that life is all good. No, we are facing crazy challenges. And they are there. And some of them, most of these challenges is because sometimes we don't have money. We can't fight in places where we need to fight. Like now, if I need to go back to court, I need to pay a lawyer. I don't have that money. Right now, you'll be called and be told you need to go present yourself in a particular court. Just intimidations. You don't have that money. You don't know who to call. You had not budgeted for a lawyer because you didn't have any case. A case just cropped up from the blues. Most importantly, let's pray for these women. For strength, for courage, and for hope. Because there is hope out there. But physically, let us change our ways. Let us not lie anymore that we are doing something which we are not doing. Let us not lie that there are structures in place that are working, they are not working. Let us be honest with ourselves. And let us not say we are helping and you're not helping. Let us step in and genuinely help where we can. I'm always humbled when I receive those phone calls of checking up on me. I'm grateful for the phone calls that I receive as well from those women who keep me, can I say, on my toes, or keep reminding me where I'm coming from, lest I forget. And I forget my mission on earth. Because I feel I also have a role to play. And as God told Moses, what do you have? He only had a rod. Moses had a rod. Catherine has a mouth. The much I can do is use my mouth to try and look for every way and means possible to help. That is the much I can do. And if there are women out there who have walked the journey, who know what I'm talking about, because we will honestly, Let us be very honest. And I'm saying, let us be truthful. And this is my platform, so I like being truthful. All the dockets, all systems in place, and the people who have been put in those, to man those departments or those positions, how many have gone through what we have gone through? How many know in details what it means to have no escape? Because if they did, they would not abuse their offices. Because if they did, they would not sleep while they know there's a woman crying out there who needs help. Because they will run to help that woman who is crying for help. They will want to understand, how can I assist you? Because they have the resources, because they are able. They have been put in a place, resources have been given, funds have been given to help these women. If there are such organizations, or if there are such dockets in the government offices that can do that. Okay? So, time has come for women of like minds who are not greedy for money, who are not looking for positions, to put our heads together and see how best we can help these women. We can help ourselves and help the rest of us because we know what it means. We've walked the journey. We know. We really know what it feels. We know the truth on the ground. We do know the truth on the ground. So, it's my hope, and it is actually always my daily prayer, that a morning will come when things will change. A morning will come when we have, even if it is one institution, one place where these women can run to as refuge, where women will no longer continue to suffer in their union of marriages, where women will not continue to be physically abused in their union of marriage, because they have a place they can go to, they can run to, they have security, they have a refuge, a place where they can rest, regroup, and start again. It is my hope and it is my prayer that one morning soon, this will be a reality. Thank you for the support you have given me in this social media platform. I know many of you watch my videos. I know many of you even forward, share my videos. Thank you for those who are commenting. Thank you for those who are liking. Thank you even for those who side chat. There are some teachings I teach, and actually people receive their miracles from there and they are blessed from there. So I'm grateful, because every time you give me a feedback, it rebuilds, energizes me, strengthens me, gives me a reason to wake up again and do this thing. Because let me tell you, what gives me great joy and strength is when I know this platform has given life back to a woman like me, has given strength back to a woman like me, has given a reason to live again to a woman like me. That is great strength and joy for me to know that. So until next time, God's blessings. Until next time, we are going to be having these discussions, of course, about me. Gender-based violence, the best I know how, it can only be my stories. So if it will encourage somebody, it will teach somebody something, It will help a lot, because maybe you did not know how to go about something and you switched on into my platform and you're like, hey, now I can be able to avoid this. I know that documents can be removed. I need to know how to keep my documents safe. I know how to go about this and that and that. I mentioned when we were talking, yes, you're coming from my house. So what next? We will still meet in those courts of law. But what have I said? In full media coverage. Yes? So that we can see what best those ones who feel they own the country can do, or how best they can win their case through their threats, their intimidations. Yeah? So through this platform, regardless of how tough it might look or seem, somebody will get an answer. Somebody will be encouraged to wake up and fight again. Do not give up. It doesn't matter where you are. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give in. Don't give up and don't give in. And as long as God is on your side, you will amount victorious, regardless of the situation, the circumstance, or the challenge. Right? So until next time, God's blessing. I'll keep answering your question. Yes, Catherine, how are you? How is it after divorce? How is Kenya? What happens for people like you after divorce? Do you get your peace back? Peace is not 100%, but yes, there is peace, which we can say 60%. I have peace, but you will have peace 60%, and then all of a sudden a morning comes, you get back to 10% because something happened. Yeah. So that does not make us give in or give up. We are not giving up. As long as we have breath, the breath of God that God has given us freely, we will keep on fighting till the end. And until next time, God's blessing.